welcome to the Liverpool Community Podcast. I'm your host, Shay Johnson Lynch, and once again, I'm joined by a very interesting person that I feel that you would love to hear from, because I definitely want to hear from, and everything, and that is Abby Pope, General Manager of the Liverpool Feds. How you doing, Abby?
Good, yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, no, thanks for coming in and everything like that, because, actually, we've had Donna Scully on the program and everything, and she was, talking about the Liverpool Feds, and I was like, oh, yeah, could you put me in touch and stuff? I think, when I first reached out to you, you didn't know who I was, did you?
No, I did watch your podcast with Donna, though.
Well, no, I just mean, when you just got a strange number call, and it was like, hello? Man, everything that's all right. That's all cool. Everything it's great. But Liverpool Feds is we should let people know that as a football team, I'm going to get specific here, but Phil could probably help me out if I get it wrong. You're a Tier 3 football team, part of the FAWNL, which is the
FA Women's National League.
I knew that. And
You liar.
I did. Anyway, Phil. But the Liverpool Feds have been going around for 10 years now and everything. And you were a player for some time, but you have recently retired 2 years ago. So will you say you were part of the first Alpha team, though, when it started 10 years ago?
No, because we actually started in 1990.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not that old yet, although I feel it. I feel it some days.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we were founded in 1990, by accident really. A couple of people met on a corridor at the university in the city, and wanted to start a women's football team, and we've grown from there. So yeah, I've been part of the club for 10 years now. I spent 8 as a player with our first team. Went through the challenge to get promoted from Tier 4 to Tier 3, which took us a long time, but we did that probably 4 seasons ago now. So we're now playing in Tier 3 of the women's pyramid, so 2 promotions away from the pinnacle of the game.
Yeah, no, exactly. And to get to Tier 2, it's not that far away, but one would think it's not just about the sport, isn't it? It's also about the funding.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think in a lot of cases, money is the challenge. So on the pitch, we're doing really well. I think we're currently sat in 5th at the moment, continuing to improve year on year, progressing in cups, progressing in the FA Cup as well. But the biggest challenge that we have is that financial to apply to go into WSL2, so Tier 2, you have to start that application process now. And it's not just about your sporting merit, it's about everything that you can do off the pitch as well. So at the moment, to be applying for that, you have to have a turnover of around £1.5 to £2 million.
Wow. And
in comparison to the £100,000 that we run our entire club off, which is 18, 19 teams, to improve our revenue by thousands of % is a real challenge. So it's not as easy as just winning the league. There's a lot that goes behind that.
Well, also now that you're the general manager, this must be a whole different hat for you to wear coming off the pitch and into the office.
Yeah, and I've been general manager and I've been part of the committee for 7 years. So even when I was playing, I still held different roles, kind of secretary, general manager, sponsorships and things like that. The step away from the pitch was part forced, with my body failing me in a lot of different ways through injuries and people around me getting really fast. Apparently that was me getting slow, but I think
I've seen that. Why are they so?
Yeah, I think everybody else was getting really fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then partly because I felt like I had a lot more to offer off pitch. We're transitioning now from being a grassroots entity and trying to turn ourselves into a business. And I think that's where my skill set lies. I've got a lot of passion for improving the club. So I kind of moved away and settled into this role, but it's definitely challenging, but I do love it at the same time.
Well, as a local football club, they have women and everything. You have a really wide age gap of you say you're from 6 to 65. You know what I mean? And so that's a lot because even in your younger under sixes, whatever, who do grassroots football, I think you said there's like about how many teams are those?
17 youth teams I think we've got now.
17 youth teams. It's like I don't know. I mean, that's hard to keep track of, but that only just shows the interest of women that are in sports, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which a lot of people don't really think too much about is that it's not just a male-oriented game and everything like that. Now, I want to start the ball rolling during the podcast, where I want to make sure that everybody knows while we're talking is that you guys are self-funded. You are a charity. You're also a CIO and everything. But I mean, obviously, they're always looking for funding. They're always looking for sponsors and investors. So get your ears on and hands in your pockets while we're talking about the good that this club has been doing. Now I understand you used to play at Goodison, but now you moved to Wooten Hall Park.
No, so we used to play at Jericho Lane.
Okay.
So we used to play at Jericho Lane. We've been there ever since it was built, really. But during last summer, Everton women announced that their first team women were going to be moving to Goodison Park because obviously the men have just built Bramley Moor Dock.
Yeah.
Don't think it's called that anymore. Somebody will tell me off.
It's called Hill Dickinson.
Yeah. So not being one to miss an opportunity, the same day that was announced, I emailed Catherine, the head of women's football at Everton, and congratulated them on their amazing move. It's one of the only women's teams to have a purpose-built women's stadium, which is amazing for them. But obviously, I wanted to know what they were doing with Wooten Hall Park. We have a really good heritage with Everton. So our first team manager, Leanne Duffy, used to be club captain at Everton during her career. We've also taken a number of players on loan from Everton over the years. Their kind of under 21 squad will come into us on loan. So use that as part of my email to Catherine and said, we'd really like to take over Wooten Hall. We're playing at a really good level. So we made that move, ready for our second game of the season. So we're about 5 games into that now. And it's really just levelled up that first team experience. I think you're turning up to a stadium.
Yeah.
The pitch is immaculate. The change rooms are incredible. So it's a massive undertaking every home game for us now. We used to turn up to an AstroTurf and a changing room and play. And Jericho have been fantastic for us. We still use them for training. But now we turn up, we open up, we're cleaning out bins, toilets, we're doing the sound system, we're providing the food after the game. And I think it's an amazing step for us, but it takes a lot more effort now on a Sunday for volunteers and things like that to do it.
No, I understand. So, I mean, what tier are the Everton women's team in?
So they're in the Women's Super League, so they're tier 1. So two leagues away from us.
So, I mean, I've seen, that Wrexham show, with Ryan Reynolds and everything. Well, how many?
Have you seen the Tom Brady show?
Yes,
no.
I have.
All right, Phil. How many tiers are there?
So it goes down to tier 7.
Right, so you are pretty up there then.
Yeah, but then in tier 7, you've kind of got multiple divisions. But I think 7 is the lowest number it goes down to.
No, that's fantastic. But so, even though all of this stuff is going on, you kind of said that you feel that your team is kind of the best kept secret. And everything. Can you tell me why you think that is?
Yeah, I think if you're in women's football, I think Liverpool Feds.
Yeah.
I think we've built a really strong reputation. I don't think you're around for 35 years without doing that. And we get a lot of compliments from teams around tier 3 and tier 4 that kind of look up to us as as the marker and as something that they want to aspire to, which makes us really proud. But I think within the Liverpool City region, I think we're probably not as well known as I'd like us to be. Obviously, Liverpool is such a sporting city, and
it's kind of like very much into this main, like,
you're either a red or a blue.
Yeah.
And I think there's something in it, and I've never said this out loud, so somebody at the club might shout at me, but I feel like we could become the bins of Liverpool City, and what I mean by that is by the purple. Like, you don't have to be a red or a blue to come and support the Feds. We are your team almost. Like, we're self-funded, family-friendly. Like, we've got a real good culture throughout the club. And it doesn't matter. You can meet your Liverpool supporting friends and at a Feds game and not have that mentality, I suppose, of it being that derby. We're unique in that. So, there's a big piece of work that we need to undertake, and it starts with speaking to people like yourself, Chase, and kind of getting our name out there that we are here, we're playing at a very good level, and we're accessible.
Well, one of the cool things that I thought is that what you do for your mascots.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, and it's something that we want to inspire the next generation. I think it's so important that young girls have role models to look up to. And the women's game at the top level now is becoming more saturated. It's more commercialised. It's more difficult to get access to the players because of safety and things like that.
Yeah, it's true.
But equally, our players are inspiring. Our players have full-time jobs. They have other careers, and then every single week they turn up, come rain or shine, and train Tuesday, Thursday, play on a Sunday. Like that should be inspiring, because not everybody's going to become a professional footballer.
Yeah.
But what we're trying to show is that these young girls is that they can have role models that aren't on the telly every week, but they can come and meet those role models. So we invite lots of local girls teams down from all over the city to basically come and be our mascots. So they walk out with the players, they get to go in the changing rooms while the players are warming up and kind of see that setting. And then after the game, they'll all get a sign-in sheet. And whether we've won or lost, the girls will always go over to them, sign their signing cards, have pictures with them. And it makes them want to come back, and it makes them show that there's a path in football for them. And no matter what level they get to, I think the dynamic and the team and the bond that they can form with the players is amazing.
I think, the thing I saw on Reels once, was like seeing these, like a male football team, but seeing their little mascots, and they were like lined up, and they were in the rain and everything like that, and and the kids were there with their players, their favorite players, and one of the players decided to give a kid a jacket, and then the others started to follow suit. Of course, there was that one player who was like, "I'm not giving up a jacket," but it was just really nice, and everything like that. And I mean, that was my experience of seeing mascots. But I mean, obviously, they enjoy what you're talking about, being able to meet the players and feel, part of, and it goes a long way, Let's talk about like, the games when you're playing. You're saying like you were saying that you're averaging about like say only like 250 people, a game at over. This is over at Woburn Park. Mm-hmm. Now, I mean, for me, that's a lot of people, right, Phil?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I mean, that's great. They're coming out every game, but we need more. More than 250 people. I mean, remember, we're trying to raise some money. Right?
Yeah, we
right?
can have up to 3,000 in Walton Hall Park. So
3,000 people can fit in there.
Yeah, so there's definitely space. If you'd like to come down, we'd love to have you.
That's what you have to say there. I mean, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Now what I thought was really interesting here was like walking football.
Yep.
Yeah. Now I've seen examples. Again, of walking football, would be like men, doing walking football. Like I used to do this thing, they do Everton in the city. So I used to do this thing where, you go out there and you're doing walking football and stuff like that. But you're not only doing walking football with women over 40, yeah? But tell us a success story about what's going on with this at present with these walking women.
Yeah, so we set up our walking football team around 3 years ago, and it was a previous player that set it up, Muchi. And it's gone from strength to strength, and it's amazing that people who potentially didn't have the opportunity to play football now can do that. And there's people in there that are kind of working mums and have wanted to come and play football. So it's obviously an opportunity for people to get fit and healthy and do a sport that potentially they've never had the opportunity to. But yeah, obviously we don't do things by halves at Feds, and we do have 6 players that are about to go and represent England at the World Cup in Spain.
Now, isn't that what? You know what I mean? We're going to just highlight one of them there, aren't we? What is it? Tell us about Chris.
Yeah, so Chris is, I said 65 he went up to, so
No,
Chris will
I wrote 67.
Yeah, Chris will probably be quite happy with me because she is 67. But yeah, so Chris is actually going to go and represent England at that World Cup.
Wow, isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when did she think that was going to happen?
Yeah, I mean, we all dream of playing in a World Cup, right?
Yeah.
When we're growing up, and whether it's walking football or football, you're still pulling on that England shirt. So yeah, incredible. I wish all the girls, women, I should probably call them, all the very best.
Yeah. No, I mean, I just think it's a fantastic, like little success story about what's going on. I mean, but I think what's really more interesting about that is that there is a bit of a history going on here that you were talking about. And this, I mean, of course I was surprised because, were you surprised about this one, Phil?
What was that?
That women's football was banned for 50 years.
I've recently heard that. I didn't know that history, but I've recently heard
Well, Abby's going to tell you the story, Phil.
It's shocking, though.
Yeah, go ahead, tell them the story.
Yeah, so for a bit of background of women's football in this country, we're still playing catch up, and we're playing catch up because the FA, the Football Association, actually banned women's football in this country for 50 years, and it goes back to the war. Men went off to fight the war, and women typically took male-dominated jobs. So they were working in factories, and a lot of these factories had had football teams, and obviously when the women took the jobs, they also took over the football teams. And it was really successful. So there was crowds of thousands of people. I'm talking 50,000 people going to watch these games. The war ended, and obviously the men came back, and the women went back to more typical kind of home life. So raising kids, staying at home, all of that. But the women's game got almost so popular, and probably nobody's ever came out and said this openly, but it was banned because of its popularity, and it was overtaking men's football at the time. There was a doctor within Harley Street that said the women's game was quite unsuitable for the female body, which is just rubbish.
Yeah.
And yeah, so women's football was banned between 1921 and 1971 in this country. It had to be played on park pitches. There was a team, Dick Kerr Ladies, that continued to play during this period illegally. But yeah, so it was banned. So you couldn't play in any FA affiliated grounds. You couldn't have any proper referees during that period. So we're playing catch up, and there's a lot of challenges around the women's game and comparing it to men's football. But you have to remember there was a 50-year gap where women weren't allowed to play. So for people who now are within our walking football team, who were probably
coming around at that time,
or coming into football just after that, it was still it was not as prevalent as it is today. Like the game has grown so much, and the Lionesses' success has obviously accelerated that and helped that so much that now women's football is a mainstay on Sky. It's on telly every week. The players are well known, and it will only continue to grow and strengthen from that position. But yeah, I think it's important people realise that it was banned in this country for a long time, and we are playing catch up.
Yeah, and you were saying like you at this stage you guys are more than happy not to stream your games because you'd rather people actually come out and see it live.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything better than a live game of football. I don't think you can get the atmosphere through a screen. Like I've said, we're not selling out. Maybe if there was 3,500 people at Walton Hall and I had 3,500 people queuing up to get in as well, I'd look to stream the game. But while we've got space, come and feel it. come and get involved, come and enjoy the atmosphere, because there's nothing better than watching a game live.
Yeah, that's see, look at that. That's how you sell it. Come and feel it. You know what I mean? Look at that Phil shaking his head. I'm going, and everything like that. Yeah. So I mean, when talking about like long-term periods, you was telling us that like 2 of the founding members are still with the club. Why don't you give them a shout out? Yeah,
Janie Moore and Sue Carmichael. Absolute heroes within our club in terms of what they've done and the longevity that they've had to sustain and keep this club going. They're heavily involved still today, and we keep trying to get them to take a step back and enjoy the work that they've put into it, but we can't tear them away. But yeah, they're still massively involved in running our kids section, and they don't make it easy for themselves, because every year they're bringing more teams, which means we need more coaches, and if we don't have the coaches, they step up and do it themselves. But yeah, they're still here. They're still massively involved in running the club, and a lot of people will know them in the women's football of Liverpool community.
Now, also too is like like right here. Let's just like clear up a discrepancy, because some people like Phil, get it twisted, don't they? Now, usually it would be me, but no. Phil's like, yeah. So you guys with the police? Because of the name Liverpool Feds. Can you explain?
It's an easy mistake.
Yeah, whatever. But
yeah, no, we are not linked with the police. It's a common mistake, and also another common mistake is that we're linked with Liverpool Football Club in any way. We're not. It was basically a federation of 2 of the colleges of Liverpool that meant the Feds name came together. So yeah, not the police.
Not the police, yeah. Yeah, okay, Phil, you got that right. Now.
Yeah, you're safe because she's not going to actually arrest you.
She wouldn't arrest me. Yeah. So anyway, celebration time, right? This reason why we're talking about Liverpool Feds, well, one of the reasons anyway, is that you guys just received an award. And I think this was only like just last week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us all about it?
Yeah, last week we picked up the FA Club of the Year from Liverpool County FA. So yeah, I think it's really nice to get external recognition. There's a lot of people that put a lot of time into the club. So to have that, I suppose, externally recognised was something we're really proud of.
No, amazing. I mean, like, everybody's getting awards. I mean, not me. But
You're such a diva.
I am. No, I'm not. Anyway. So, what I was going to say was, like, I was asking you, like, where were you guys, like, at this point in the league? I believe you were talking about, like, 10 games in.
Yeah, so we've played around 7 league games, and we're sitting 5th at the moment. I think with a win on Sunday, we could potentially go up to 3rd. We'll have a game more than some of the teams around us, but we don't look into that sort of stuff. We've progressed in the League Cup, so we won 6-1 on Sunday in round 1 of the League Cup. We topped our group as well of the League Cup, and then we enter the FA Cup next Sunday. Which is a competition we always look to progress in, because obviously it's a really iconic competition, but equally there's prize money for winning rounds of the FA Cup. That prize money increased quite significantly, last season. So it becomes really important, actually, the FA Cup, and we try not to put that pressure onto the players. But the financial gain of the FA Cup is really helpful for a club like us.
So when you said, so this is like next Sunday.
A week on Sunday, yeah.
You said it's the big AF Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everything like that. So like you're playing Chesterley Street.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, now me being a Bad News Bears fan, right? And Phil say, what's that?
Where's this going?
So Abby, you gotta say it's bad news for the Chesterley Street. That's okay, fine.
I'll let you say that.
Well, it's true, isn't it? Well, they're not your worst enemies, but they're going to lose, aren't they?
I will never say anything like that on a record.
I can say it. I can say it.
Made the best team win.
Made the best team win.
Going to say he's made the best team.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Made the best team win. Yeah, true. Yeah, true. So I mean, like, anything you got else that you're looking up? You're looking forward to?
Yeah, I think continually progressing in all areas that we possibly can. We're constantly looking for marginal gains in terms of what can we improve year on year. What's really important for me, I suppose.
You said you wanted to figure out how to increase your brand name and everything like that.
I think kind of sitting on this side of the fence now and actually not having to consider things as a player quite as much. I think the most important thing for me is consistency. So I wouldn't want us to do something this season that we can't repeat, because once people get used to something, they expect it, right? So we try and make these marginal gains every season. So obviously the move with the ground was a big part of that. We managed to build a really good relationship with a coach company, so we now have a much nicer coach for away days, and these are things that we can repeat. And I think what we're trying to do is just improve every area of our club, slowly, gradually, consistently, and that's how we've had the longevity that we have.
Yeah.
So yeah, this season, big focus for us is improving the brand name, getting more people knowing about us in the city, getting more people down to games, and working with Uni of Liverpool and John Moores University on 3 different projects at the moment, and using those smart minds, right, to give me hours and hours of time and thought process into key areas. So I'm looking at brand, I'm looking at sponsorship, I'm looking at filling the stands. And then from a wider club perspective, obviously we want to continue offering football to as many girls and women as possible wherever we can. And continuing to just grow on every single level, and that's what we've done so far, and we'll continue to do that.
I think well said and everything. And you know, as we're about to close out the stream and everything, you know, speaking about you personally, I mean, I thought it was really interesting and somewhat inspiring story about why you gave up football.
Yeah, I think as a footballer, yeah, you never want to call time on your career. I played for a very long time, from the age of 5 for lots of different clubs, but spending the last 8 years of my playing career at the Feds, I found a home. I found my people, and I would have never gone on. I probably could have dropped levels and extended a playing career, but I didn't want to leave the Feds, and I felt like at that point I wanted to give back in an even bigger level, I suppose, and I felt I had more to offer off pitch in the role that I currently do than I did on pitch at that point. Yeah, I still think I could go out there sometimes and help, but my body probably wouldn't allow it. So I put all of my additional time alongside a full-time, pretty stressful job into the Feds and worked long hours to do it, but it all comes good when we win on a Sunday.
Hey, you know, at the end of the day, it's a game that most of your players play for fun. You know, they volunteer their time, as well as, you know, and things that they gain out of it, you know. But, I mean, like I said, I just thought it was really powerful to come back from, you know, a sense of brokenness, because we're never really broken, you know, when you're strong and everything. And I just thought that was really amazing, because this is a hard game. You know, it's a game, you know, and everything, and it is a hard game. It's full of broken bones, isn't it? You know, but, you know, they are also survivors, as are you there, Abby Pope. So I want to, thank you for coming on the podcast to share with us a little bit more information about the Liverpool Feds, even for the uninitiated, you know, people who don't know anything like Phil. But I love you. Yeah. How can people find you in there, Abby?
Yeah, I think, look, finally for me, thank you so much to you both for having me on. Really appreciate the opportunity to get our name out there. But yeah, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, both for me personally and the club, we're out there, or liverpoolfeds.com is our website. And yeah, if anybody wants to get involved as a player, a coach, a volunteer,
what about
a sponsor, an investor,
they can find that through the website.
My phone's open. Yeah, my phone number's on the website. Please feel free to give me a call. We're always looking for good people to come on board with us. So in whatever capacity, in whatever time you've got to give us, we'd love to have you on our journey.
Well, thank you very much. So this has been Abby Pope, the general manager for the Liverpool Feds and everything. I'm your host, Jason Lynch, and once again, we out of here. Peace.